Have Dustin. Dustin? Good morning, fellow Manhattan citizens and citizens of Riley County. I'm pleased to be with you this morning. While I think I was on time, I could not be early today because I leave for the airport. As soon as I leave here to go back to Washington, D.C., I would prefer to stay with you. I prefer my job in Kansas to Washington, D.C., but we have been away because of the July 4th recess, been away from Washington for a few days, and so back to work. And but delighted to announce here in Manhattan and in Riley County success that we had in an appropriations bill that should be very helpful to the Riley County law enforcement and in particular to the efforts by the department to deal with hazmat issues, which are more prevalent in our lives and across our communities in Kansas than they used to be. So I'm an appropriator for the Department of Justice, and in the days in which Republicans are in the majority, I chair that subcommittee. In the days in which the Democrats are in the majority, I'm the lead Republican. It would be pleasing, I think, for you to know that Senator Shaheen, the Democrat chairwoman, and I work together well, and you can't tell a lot of difference between our efforts in support for law enforcement, regardless of whether the Democrat chairman is in the leadership of the committee or the Republican chairman is in leadership of the committee. And one of the things that Senator Shaheen and I determined to do, particularly in the days in which there was a hue and cry to defund the police, is to make sure that we provided additional resources for law enforcement and did so in a way that would be helpful to not only our law enforcement officers, but the public that they serve. And so I'm here to announce today, I guess I should say that Appropriations Committee that funds the Department of Justice funds a wide array of grants to local law enforcement. COPS is often the one that is thought of, but there's a half a dozen or more of those grant programs. And with our capabilities of influencing the Department of Justice and the way that the appropriation process now works, we were successful in designating $440,000 for Riley County law enforcement for purposes of a hazmat vehicle. And I'm in here to certainly announce that, but express my gratitude, particularly in the community in which me and my family live, for the relationship that we have with Riley County law enforcement that we've had for a long period of time. And I'm glad to see it continue under the new leadership of Director Muldrup. And I also want to use this as an opportunity to thank all of those who serve in blue uniforms for their service to their community, their care and safety and concern for other people, and the risk they take on behalf of me and my family and our fellow citizens of Riley County. So, Director, thank you for the chance to be with you this morning. Congratulations on being a department in which we were successful. You did your work well so that we could be helpful to you. And again, pleased to be here in support of Riley County law enforcement and find ways that we can be helpful, not only to the department, but also to the taxpayers of this community. If we can find those federal resources, incidentally, money that was going to be spent someplace anyway, if we can find that and direct it here to useful causes, we also help protect the taxpayers for increasing costs related to taxes. So to all local public officials, thank you for your public service. Pleased to be here. And Chief, thank you for letting me join you.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Senator Moran, for your kind words and for thinking of RCPD for these funds. Senator Moran, as he said, has always been a strong supporter of the Riley County Police Department and law enforcement in general, and we greatly appreciate that. I also want to thank Sergeant Dustin Weisbrod and retired Director Dennis Butler. Sergeant Dustin Weisbrod is the team leader of the hazmat team. Both he and the director were the ones that really took the initiative and did all the work in trying to get this thing going and secure funding. And so I greatly appreciate their efforts in it. I played a very small, insignificant role in it. So I really appreciate them. I want to thank them for helping accomplish this as well. Currently, the Hazardous Evidence Response Team shares a vehicle with our CSI team, creates a lot of extra work for the team members when they get called in to have to take their equipment, highly sensitive equipment, and load it into the CSI vehicle, which you can imagine has tight for space anyway, and then respond out to the scene. Having the money for this vehicle, to be able to have a vehicle like this, will allow them to secure their highly sensitive equipment in one vehicle that will be safe, secure, climate controlled, and will reduce the amount of time that they need to respond to a team, as well as will protect the equipment. As you know, anytime you unload and load that kind of equipment, the chances for damage are high. So we greatly appreciate you securing the funds for this and helping us provide professional service to the community that they have come to deserve and expect. So thank you. Thank you very much. Sergeant Weisbrod here. If people have any more specific questions, I can't answer specific questions about what he does, but thank you. And that concludes it, unless you have anything.
You should tell us anything that you should use your expertise in and educate us.
Yeah.
I don't want you to off the hook.
So I'll say a few words. Hi, my name is Dustin Weisberg. I'm a sergeant with Riley County Police Department. And as Interim Director Muldrup mentioned, I'm the team leader of our hazardous evidence response team. A little bit about this team: we do crime scene investigation, evidence collection at scenes involving hazards such as chemicals, biologicals, radiological, or nuclear materials. We wanted to say on behalf of our team members, thank you, Senator Moran, for securing this funding for our vehicle. It's going to be great to have a place, as mentioned already, to store the equipment and to transport our personnel to these scenes. As you can imagine, it takes quite a bit of equipment, and some of this is, temperature controlled stuff that needs to have a good place to stay. So again, thank you very much for your support, and I'd be happy to answer any questions about our team.
So Dustin, I understand it's kind of an unusual team for law enforcement to have, especially at the local level.
Yes, yeah. So we are the only local level team here in the state of Kansas. We're not the only local level team in the United States that does this type of work, but in Kansas, this is a little bit of a rare thing to have.
How much does the location of NBAF play into the presence of the team and also the importance of having this new vehicle?
Yeah, so places like NBAF, as well as other industry that's coming into our area, that's certainly an interest of ours, not only in the hazardous evidence realm, but also in the biological realm.
You're the only one of these in the local area. How far and wide would you go to use this vehicle?
Yes, so this vehicle will primarily be for Manhattan and Riley County, but we have historically responded at request of our regional partners in law enforcement. Since this is kind of a rare ability or capability here in Kansas, we do get requests every once in a while from other agencies through our policy and internal procedures. Those get cleared through the director to get approval to respond and assist those agencies.
Thank you all very much. Good to be with you this morning.